I tend to think I'm a pretty smart guy. Relatively bright, educated, creative, observant, but fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests, when it comes to dealing with people, relationships, and emotional intelligence, I am retarded. But I feel I'm not the only one. Any takers? Any shows of hands? Luckily, the first sign of intelligence is to know you are an idiot. And man, I am an idiot. But y'all already knew all that. I've been on a journey, a quest, if you will, to try to learn as much as I can about relationships and people. Over the last 2 months or so, I have met more people socially than I had previously in the last 5 or more years. I have been looking for something. And those of you whose mind is in the gutter, no, I'm not looking for that. I've been on a quest to try to find the answer. But I didn't even know what the question was. But still, this last weekend, I had a eureka moment. Now, I'm not going to stand up here and tell you that I found the answer or the holy grail to my quest. I think I accidentally found a map. A map. This is not the map I found, but I want to ask you, what is a map? A map is an analogy of reality, simplified down so that we can easily understand it. But more than just being an analogy, a map tells us where we come from, where we are, and where we are trying to go. This is the map that I stumbled across. Relationships are like swimming pools. Now, I'm assuming everyone can obviously see the relationship between, they're the analogy of relationships and a swimming pool. The deeper, more meaningful relationships are in the deep end of the pool, and those everyday acquaintances are in the shallower end of the pool. I assume we can all get this. I'm sure it's not an original thought. But we can take this map and expand upon it by visualization and come up with much more. So I'm going to ask everybody to please close your eyes. Close your eyes, guys. Take yourself back in time to when you were a little kid, and you're going to go to the pool. I want you to try to remember the sights that you saw, the sounds that you heard, the warm sun on your skin, and then the cold water as you get in. Invigorating, but maybe a little bit painful. Now, keeping your eyes closed, I want you to think of a relationship that you have with someone right now. And I want you to take them to the pool with you as a kid. And then ask yourself, where are you in the pool with this relationship? Are you sitting on the steps? Are you in waist-deep water playing Marco Polo? Are you daring each other to go into deeper water? Or just maybe, are you sitting at the bottom of the deep end, holding your breaths as long as possible, in total delight, having an underwater tea party? Keep imagining that relationship. And now think of another relationship. Bring it to the pool. This should be pretty easy to do. You may realize that you can bring lots of relationships to the pool simultaneously and actually be able to see how they play off of each other. Okay, everybody can open their eyes. I hope that everybody was able to connect to this map and hopefully understands kind of what I'm talking about here. There are two important things that I'd like to point out on this map. The first one is the lifeguard stand. This represents your friends and family. They will be there to rescue you if you get into water that's too deep. And every once in a while, I might blow their whistle and tell you not to run. The second thing in the map that I'd like to point out is the diving board. Does anybody know what the diving board represents? Christy? The diving board, the correct answer is sex. And it should be noted, it should be noted that the diving board is over the deep end of the pool for a reason. That said, some pretty fancy dives can be executed in only 2 or 3 feet of water. But the truly spectacular ones do require the full depth of the pool. Now maps, like I said, what am I saying there? Now maps don't just tell us where we are. They tell us where we've come from and where we're going. And I'm sure we all have a relationship or two where maybe we're sitting on the steps and our friend or maybe a family member is calling to us from the deep end. Visualize that relationship in the pool to know where you are and try to find a path to each other. You may end up both sitting on the steps, but at least you're sitting there together. Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests, I am still an idiot. But if I'm in a relationship and I don't quite know where I am, not quite sure where I'm coming from or where I'm trying to go, I will just close my eyes. Imagine a day at the pool and jump into that water, even though I don't know how to swim. That'll take Toastmasters.